Hey guys, it's Jaybird here, back with another video. And today I want to talk about the 5 major steps to self-development. So in this video, I'm going to go into depth on just what I believe that the 5 major steps to self-development are, to diving into your relationship with yourself so that you can truly just manifest everything into your reality that really best represents you, so that you can become more confident, so that you can fall in love with yourself, so that you can build what your life vision is, and just do that in the most productive way so that you can truly just be happy and enjoy life and just be the best version of yourself that you can possibly be. In my opinion, self-development and your relationship with yourself should always come first. Before a career, before a relationship, before anything, you have to fall in love with yourself. You have to put effort into yourself. So, in my opinion, number 1 for starting that journey is analysis and reprogramming. So basically what this means, I believe I talked about this in a previous video, I'm not sure, but analysis and reprogramming, and what I see that as is just taking some time to just be aware of yourself and not putting any pressure on it, but just, what am I thinking about today? What are my most prominent thoughts? Am I mean to myself? Am I kind to myself? Am I kind to other people? Am I negative? Do I complain a lot? What sort of things stand out that you don't like, or that aren't helping you, or that don't benefit you? So just taking a week or a month or however long and just writing down all these things. What negative thoughts do you have? What negative habits do you have? Do you eat too much junk food? Do you smoke too much? Or do you, I don't know, do you complain too much to all your friends? Are you a negative Nancy? What are those things that truly just are bringing you down and blocking the flow of positive energy, that are not allowing, the positive things to come in because there's just all this negative going around? So just analyze, right? Just who are you? What are these things? And then, the second part of that analysis is figuring out what things you don't like and how you want to change that. What positive attributes do you want to add? So maybe it's I really want to start working out more. I really want to eat healthier. I really want to be the type of person who does this or does that. And the thing is not everyone wants to eat, kale and I don't know, eggs and all these really healthy quinoa and all these fancy foods and stuff. But, it's a really individualized thing. You know what I mean? You don't have to want those things. You can want junk food. Junk food is fun, it's cool, whatever. Obviously, everything in moderation. You want to have a good balance, for your physical health. That's a whole different thing. But just, it's if you enjoy going out for some really crazy, big, hearty meals, that's a part of who you are, and don't deny that just because you think that that's what, the perfect person is. No, it's what do you want? What kind of person do you want to be? Obviously, you want to be healthy, that's a whole other thing, but do you want to be the type of person who, gets up every morning and runs 5 miles? Yes or no? There's no wrong answer. It's just, who do you want to be, right? So that's that analysis. It's just determining, it's do you want these things because people tell you oh, this is what, a healthy person does, or this is what a rich person does, or this is what this person, blah, 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 blah. Do you want those things because people tell you that's what you should want? Or is it because you actually want that for yourself? You want the perfect version of yourself that doesn't, deny themselves the things that they love. Who is that person? So that's really a big part of the analysis, I think, because I think a lot of times we get caught up in oh, I want to be this, I want to be that, I want to be perfect, I want to do everything right. But what is right? You know what I mean? You define what's right and what's wrong. You define what is best for your soul, your spiritual development, your mental development, your physical, all of that, you define it. You define it. Right? So doing that analysis and then reprogramming, right? So reprogramming kind of gets me into the next step, step 2, which is also a 2-part, 2 and 3. So the second step is affirmations and affirmations. So I know that a lot of people kind of get a little scared away with the idea of affirmations, but I really feel like once you truly dive into them, they are one of the most beneficial things in your, like, this is top tier, I'm telling you, like, this is so important. Because what it is that's how you reprogram, right? Affirmations are taking things that you want to believe that you might not necessarily believe yet, things that you want to change about your mindset, your thought process, your personality, just who you are as a person, and just really affirming them as fact, right? This is true. And the reason this is so important is because our brains are really like just easily manipulated. They're susceptible, right? And for me, the way I see it is affirmation is like the love, the care, right? And not doing things, like not doing affirmations and not putting work into ourselves, that's like neglect, right? And when you have a child, right, and you constantly neglect your child by, not showing them love, not showing them affection, not giving them enough time, like all those things, they're going to grow up to be just like really damaged and constantly seeking out that love and that affirmation in other places, in damaging places, drugs, alcohol, bad people, bad choices, unhealthy relationships, all those things, right? You have to think of yourself and as that child, you know what I mean? You have to give that child within yourself, your inner child, love and care and acceptance and nurturing energy, right? You cannot neglect the child inside yourself, right? You just can't. I mean, obviously you can, but it's just not going to be, conducive to a really positive and just uplifting lifestyle that you want to manifest. So the way that affirmations are easily introduced into anyone's lifestyle if they haven't really been doing them is just taking that analysis, right? You have a little journal with all the negative things that you've analyzed, and you just kind of take those things, like maybe you realize something you've been thinking about is that you're not capable of passing this test, or you're not smart enough to graduate college, or you're not talented enough to be a professional basketball player, or just things like negative thoughts in your mind, right? And they can be specific like that, or they could just be general, like man, I suck, man, oh God, I don't know, why do I do that, like I don't even know, just like whatever you've analyzed in yourself, right? Take those and reinforce them in a positive way, in a positive light, so if you're constantly telling yourself that you're ugly, God, I'm so fucking ugly, if that's in here, then every day, in the morning, at nighttime, or even just like throughout the day, it doesn't even have to be like a thing where you sit down and, okay, in the morning, I'm going to do this, right? No, throughout the day, when you hear those thoughts, go ahead and just say the positive interpretation. So, say I'm driving the car and, I just have a thought, man, I'm pretty sure that so-and-so really didn't like me, or I'm pretty sure that so-and-so felt some type of way about me. I am an amazing work of art. I am beautiful. I am strong. I am intelligent. I am powerful, right? And you can say those things. It doesn't have to be like crazy like that. It can literally just be like, I'm great. I don't care what these people say. I'm great. I am amazing, right? And however that works for you and however it feels comfortable for you, just put positive energy back into your body. That's the nurturing. That's the, so let me put it into perspective. So if like your best friend or your child or someone came up to you and they were like, God, I'm so ugly. God, that picture turned out so awful and I look like shit. What would you say to them? Like, how would you interact with that person? No, you are gorgeous. You are beautiful. You are strong. You are powerful. It's really just about having that internal dialogue with yourself. You are everything that you need to be in this moment. So that's what affirmations are, you know, just finding that sort of like positive reinforcement to the negative things that you're thinking. And literally any negative thought or feeling that you have, find a way to put it in a positive light. And anytime you get those negative thoughts or those emotions, you gotta reinforce it with positive energy, right? And so that can be something, you know, start throughout the day, you know, with your friends or at home or in the car, you know, just in your head or out loud, however you want to do it. And then if you want to, start adding it into like a morning routine. Maybe in the morning, just write down a few that have been really bothering you and just say them to yourself. Or right before you go to bed, you can write them in a journal. You know, just whatever works for you. Don't put too much pressure on it, but it's definitely something that needs to happen. So, step 3 to the 5 major steps of self-development. The step 3 is scripting and journaling. So, I'm a big proponent of we really need to get our thoughts out of our head, right? And put them into something that's more tangible, right? Something that we can see, something that we can feel, something that we can, you know, just analyze from a different perspective, right? Because a lot of stuff goes on in this head, right? But sometimes when we pull that out of our brain and put it on a piece of paper, it puts it in a whole new light, a whole new perspective. And also, there's a lot of theories that talk about, you know, manifestation and manifestation, law of attraction, and how putting things down on paper is a huge factor in really being able to manifest things into your existence. So this can be something as simple as just every night, just write how your day went. One sentence. Today, I had a great day. I went to the beach and had a good time. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, right? But to go even further, you know, a way that you can do scripting is talk about the future, right? Things that you want to bring into your present reality. So instead of journaling about how today went, journal about how, you know, today went if it were, you know, your ideal day or like something that you want to manifest. So say your dream is to like perform at the AMAs. So I would write down, I'd be like, today I had an amazing day performing at the American Music Awards. I got to sing with Billie Eilish and we really, really connected, and she has such an amazing voice and it just felt so great to be able to sing with her, and my heart was racing, but I knew that I could do it, and I made it all the way through the set without making any mistakes, and the whole crowd was cheering and it just felt so powerful, right? And the point of that is to kind of get you to start picturing yourself in places that you want to be, because a huge part about why we never do things, why we don't get where we want to be, is because our mind can't conceptualize, I don't know if that's a word, but it can't process what it would be like for us to be in that scenario, right? And if we can't see things and picture things, then our default is to believe that we're not capable of those things. So, in my opinion, the law of attraction and all of that stuff, it's not magic. It's all about psychology and your brain, right? So if you can trick your brain into believing that, like, you've done it before, I can see you. I can see you on that stage. I can see myself on that stage in front of that crowd with those other artists. I can picture myself backstage, right? Then you start to believe, like, man, that looks good. Man, that looks right. I could do that. I'm capable of doing that. I'm capable of being there. So whether it's the AMAs or some, you know, fancy CEO's office, or the, you know, football field at like some major stadium, or a basketball court, you know, like wherever it is you want to be, if you can trick your mind into believing that you've already been there and that, you know, this makes sense for you, you would be amazed at how things are going to change in your life. So yeah, scripting is a really, really great way to do that. So just write down how you feel, how you want to feel, how you felt in the past. Just put it on paper, you know? That also really helps with the analysis too, because a lot of times, like, we don't really understand what we're thinking, but then when we start writing, are like, holy shit, I didn't even know that's how I really felt, you know? So that could be at night before you go to bed, or in the morning, or just throughout the day. Maybe you're at a coffee shop and I'm just gonna write for 5 minutes. It really only has to be 5 minutes, like not even that. This is not something crazy that's gonna like take time away from your day, I promise you. So number 4, number 4, finding positive outlets. This is a major thing. I've heard so many times, this is so frustrating to me, when I meet new people and they're like, oh, you know, but there's just nothing to do. I just kind of hang out because there's not really much to do, right? And that's cool, right? It's not bad to have that mindset, but the thing is life has so much to offer you. We only believe that there's nothing to do because society has put us in this sort of box that makes us feel as though the only things for us to do are things that can be turned into a commodity that can bring them profit, right? So we have this ideal that like, okay, the only thing to do is to go to the mall, or go to like the, what's it called? You know, like those crazy stores that like do events, you know, like the game places and like the indoor skydiving and the escape rooms, yeah. And I don't even know, just like literally, if you think about all the things that people do on the daily, it's all stuff that you have to pay for, right? And now because of COVID, everything's closed. They're like, oh my gosh, everything's closed. I can't do anything. I can't go to the bar and spend money on booze. I can't go to the club and spend money on an entry fee. Like everything's closed, so there's nothing to do. But the thing is the world is full of positive outlets that don't really cost much money. Yeah, there's things you'll probably have to buy a few things, but like, so hiking, biking, going to the beach, going kayaking, painting, let's see, crafting, sewing, knitting, video games, let's see, there's literally so many. You can learn how to, what's it called, sculpt shit, pottery, reading, fucking card games, like, what's it called, embroidery. I know that kind of goes on with sewing, but then there's like all these subsets, you know, like music, of course, music, you could do music. There's all these different subsets that fall into these categories, and like a million different ways that you can dive into these sort of like these positive outlets and find what it is that you enjoy. Writing, maybe you like to write, you know. And this also comes with the analysis, is figuring out those little things that you like. And I know that we always like, oh, I don't have time. You do, you just don't realize it, right? Because, you know, you haven't really been conditioned in the mindset of like time management and really just like making time for things that are important. But it doesn't even have to be like a crazy thing. It's like, if you find yourself sitting around on your phone on TikTok, put your phone down and go find something. Try painting, try drawing, try going for a hike, try reading a new book, try writing a poem, you know, try writing a song. Find something that brings you joy, you know, so that when you are sitting alone and you feel depressed and you feel like, you know, woe is me, use your positive outlet and bring a little joy into your life. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just feel like that's so important, because it's like a lot of times, like, sitting with our own thoughts is really good. It is so good, right? We need to do that. And we have, you know, time to do that analysis. But a lot of times, sometimes, you know, you're just sitting around, and when you're not making an effort to find a positive outlet, something that really brings you joy, you are kind of leaving almost like an empty space, right? To where literally anything can come your way and cause anything, right? Someone could come at you with drama. TikTok can come at you with like a really crazy video that really hits you the wrong way. Like, social media, you know, all these things, they're just like, it's not that they're necessarily poison, but it's just when there's so much of it and that's all you do and you don't have any other positive outlets, it can definitely clog things up, right? And we want to be open, we want to be happy, we want to be fulfilled. And in my opinion, one of the best ways to do that is just to find fun little things that bring you joy, that you can really just fall in love with and get into and get excited about, right? So yeah, I don't know, finding positive outlets I think is really, really important. Number 5, this is the last one. I already made a video about this, but just a quick overview is daily routines. I feel as though for self-development, daily routines are almost like they're essential, because they really just solidify and show you what you're capable of. And they help you to develop so much, consistency, persistence, confidence, and also they kind of give you an outlet to organize the important things in your life, right? Because if you can't even be consistent enough and diligent enough and determined enough to have a consistent morning routine or nightly routine, then how is that going to affect your work life and your school life, right? Because the thing is work and school, a lot of times, there are things that there's a lot of parts to those things that we're not necessarily truly invested in, right? 100%. We don't really love all of it, right? And so when we're not truly in love and just deeply infatuated with the process of school and work, it's easy to neglect those things, right? And so the whole idea of a daily routine is creating a daily routine of things that you love, right? So you can get used to the feeling of being consistent and hitting things on the nose every single day. So then when it gets to the harder stuff, it's easy to do that. You're like, oh, I have to read 5 chapters every day for the next 3 weeks. I can't do that. Whereas if I had I have to read 5 chapters a day, for 2 weeks, easy. I do my morning routine literally every morning. This is easy. This is nothing. Consistency, I got it, right? It's kind of that sort of translation of just building those habits so that they can translate over. Also just starting your morning in a positive way with accomplishment and with I did this and with just positive things is so important. Because the first thing that we put into our minds and our bodies and our souls in the morning sets the tone for the rest of the day. So my suggestion would be to not put a lot of pressure on it, but just maybe start by finding something you really love or enjoy. It doesn't have to be big. It could be maybe you have a favorite juice or a tea that you like, or maybe you like to read, or maybe you like to listen to music, or maybe you want to listen to a podcast or a positive video, or maybe you like to clean. I don't know who you are or what you love or what you enjoy, but just find one little thing and set a goal for yourself. From here on until the end of the week, I'm going to try to do this thing every morning. And no matter when I feel I don't want to do it, I'm going to do it, right? I'm going to push myself to do it. And it works because then it's you're looking forward to it because it's something you enjoy, and the consistency comes later. That difficulty comes later. So yeah, I really think that's a good way to get started, and then you can slowly start adding more things. And if you miss a few days, it's fine. It's fine. Just come back to it, and just keep trying. And eventually you'll get 7 days straight, and you'll be like, I did it, right? And then after you do 7 days straight, you can do 2 weeks straight. Okay, cool. So then you can add more things. I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna have my favorite cup of tea in the morning, and then I'm gonna do some reading, or then I'm gonna do a workout, or but just slowly add things on. Don't jolt yourself by saying I'm gonna do 10 things this morning, every morning. No, start small, start smooth. Let your brain adjust to the changes. So yeah, review the 5 steps to self-development, in my opinion, the 5 major steps. 1, analysis and reprogramming. 2, affirmations. 3, scripting and journaling. 4, positive outlets. And 5, daily routines. So thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please drop a like and a subscribe, and I will see you guys next Wednesday. Bye.